I'm ready.
So you read the whole thing?
I read the whole thing. I'm X-Men man.
NERDSoul. Late Ill Kid at OneYoungsta holding it down, bringing that StreetGEEK and NERDSoul. What is up, my people? Today, coming with another wonderful episode of specials because we're going to get into some dope comic books. But first, big shout out to Collector's Paradise here in Winnetka, California.
Best comic shop around, yo.
They got gear, all right? They got comics, they got books, all right? Art, murals and stuff.
So Jim food back there.
Yeah, and Jim's nice. You know, Jim watches the show. You know what's up. You know, what up, Jim? How you doing?
Shout out to Jim.
Shout out, big shout out. You watch the show. Mm-hmm. So we here to talk about House of X, Powers of X. As you can see, initial thoughts after reading it. How do you feel about it?
It was a gorgeous read, man. Like one of my favorite X-Men runs ever. That cover to cover, House of X, Powers of X. That's a good read. I'll read that. Right. I'm like E is for Extinction, Messiah Complex, and that trilogy. Powers of X, House of X. Like bam, bam, bam. That's my modern X-Men. Little run. Because
I dipped in and out of Messiah, so I don't know all of that.
Right.
Me, after reading this, the only thing I can say is it's time to mobilize. Time to mobilize, y'all.
Straight up.
It's time to mobilize.
Straight up.
For real. Like, it's straight up time to mobilize.
Right.
Why are we even waiting no more?
Why are we wasting our time?
Now, I will say this. I might be tripping.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think they would have published this if a black guy wrote it?
Man, that's hard to say.
Because I was reading, I was like, I feel like Hannibal Taboo wouldn't have been able to get away with this.
Right. Well, you know how it is, man. If we write revolutionary stuff, then it's like, we trying to upset the system or whatever. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
They write it, so okay.
Right. So I do think that they would have curbed some of those ideas.
Yeah.
I think because it's Hickman, because it's a white guy, but also because it's Hickman specifically, they let him popular. And also I kind of feel like Hickman is known for these sort of sprawling finger to the system kind of stories, right?
Yeah.
So I think it was just in his vein. Also, X-Men was kind of, am I right to say, I haven't been keeping up. Like,
me neither.
Again,
I dipping out when something's hot.
When something big happens. So I don't know, but I as I understand it, X-Men was kind of on the downslope. Like, people weren't really into it as much.
Yeah,
So that I assume
something rejuvenated.
They gave Hickman free reign, or at least a little bit of reign to do with some stuff, some thinking out of the box things, right?
Yeah. I want to talk about a good amount of the characters. Okay. I'm gonna start lower on the totem pole when it comes to this story.
Excuse me. Yeah.
They need to put some respect on Apocalypse's name. All right.
You mean story-wise or just in general?
Well, Nimrod, and don't get me wrong, Nimrod is, for me, and I know there's some split camps on this, I've really enjoyed Nimrod as a villain. I've always thought he was a dope villain. Right. And then here I thought he was portrayed extremely well.
Right.
But I feel like Apocalypse, they ain't let him pull his bag of tricks out. He ain't changed forms. He ain't hit you with an arm gun or nothing. Like, they just took him out to eat. I'm like, yo, you gotta respect Apocalypse, man.
You know who Apocalypse remind me of in this? Pops from Blackish. He was just kind of sitting back, he was like,
he didn't really use all his powers.
Sweet old, immortal mutant ignorance phase. Like, I'm just kind of like, whatever y'all want to do, man. As long as I get to live in the bank house, I'm good.
Yeah, it's like,
I don't know if there was enough room in the story for him to wild out Apocalypse style, though.
But for that one page, maybe give him an extra page of I know he had to take an L, right. But let him have a better L.
Right. I can dig it. I love Apocalypse.
Yeah, because I was like, yo, they gotta took them out kind of easy, didn't they? Like, I was like,
you say easy, but in the context of the story, that's like how many lives of Moira was that? That was like the 9th life or something like that. It was like further to the back life of Moira, so she had a little experience.
True, and it was like multiple Nimrods on him. So, and he did punch one like through the face or something.
So he wilded out a little.
So all right, okay. I guess I'll take that back. I do like how when they came to the table, like, you know, they were like, "Yo, Apocalypse is here." Like, I was.
That's
like,
when he was acting like Pops. He was like, "It was like, what you think, Apocalypse?" He was like, "Man, whatever y'all want."
Man, look,
like, as long as I get to kick it, I'm
like, look, I've been trying to get y'all on this for a minute, so we good now.
Now y'all with me.
How good was it to see Professor X and Magneto like this?
That's my favorite. One of my favorite.
All their shots together, I was just like,
that's the meat of it for me. Is like, well, at least one entree, one part of the entree.
And then of course the Cerebro mask. Oh, I'm done. I'm sold with it.
It's like the what is that guy? What is evil Reed called? The Master or the Manipulator or something like that.
Yeah.
But he has the big headset with the dark, dark. Like that's kind of it looks like Hickman kind of transferred that to X-Men.
Okay.
But it's a good look though.
Yeah,
it's a real good look.
It's a dope look.
I love. To me, that's the heart, or at least one of the main components of X-Men. Is Magneto and Professor X being able to work together in that capacity in a sort of vicious, hit hard, come up with all the great moving ideas as a team, they are perfect together. That's like,
and they both were like, yo, no more beef.
Right.
We ride together.
Right.
Bad boys for life.
Ride or die. Like, I love that. I love that about this book.
Man, it was
when Magneto told him, look, from this point forward, no beef, nothing.
Yep.
Like
I got your
together.
back.
I got your back. No more separation of the idea of what a mutant society should be. We coming together. We doing this. Yep. I also love, by extension, how they got everybody else sort of on board, and it's always that quid pro quo.
Yeah, with a couple of them, but I think
a lot of quid pro quos going on.
I think the unification of both of them, they were like, okay, like if y'all two, it must be important.
Exactly. I think that sort of creates shockwaves through the mutant society, through what mutants are, to see these two together. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean,
and they publicly beefed for years.
Long time. So I think I like that, by extension, giving everybody something that they wanted to come together and form this new nation of mutants was brilliant. I will say though, and this is a personal thing, but Hickman and I share a lot of the same ideas. Let me just say. So my comic One Nation is very similar. There's a lot of similar ideas to what's going on in House of X, Powers of X. Okay. As far as my book, it's Karamats, and in their book, it's mutants. But there's a lot of synonymous ideas going on there. But anyway, I digress.
I did like even like we matter of fact, you brought up Moira. Let's talk about Moira for a second. Okay. She's a larger part of this book than I expected her to be. She's a larger part of the story of X-Men in these two books than I think she's ever been. Yes. Maybe?
Yeah. Now, canon-wise, she's in the middle. Now. She's like in the mix. She used to be kind of, at one point, damsel in distress. At another point,
someone kind of helped out every now and then.
Right. She was like a good co-character, supporting character. Yeah. But now she's like in the mix, in the middle of bringing mutantdom up to that higher level of the hierarchy that they should be. Right. Like, and I think that was brilliant.
Like finding out that she was a mutant, because from what I remember, I don't think she was ever a mutant.
No, she wasn't a mutant.
So bringing her into this and having her be a mutant, and then having her like live her lives and everything, and kind of go back and all that.
And it's such a brilliant retcon, because now if you go back and read some of those older X-Men books, and you're like, oh, but Moira wasn't, a mutant. but there's a reason for it now. There's a reason why she dips in, dips out, plays the background sometimes. Like, I thought it was just a brilliant way to retcon her role in the X-Men mythos. You know,
extremely well done. One of the most brutal moments, though, Destiny. When Destiny,
that was hard. That was really hard.
She straight up said, "Burn her slow." So she'll remember this death.
And she remembered it though.
Yeah, she ain't go back.
She was like, no more mutants that can read the future, y'all.
No. Yeah, and she said they joined hard too.
That was like one of the rules of X.
Yeah. He was like, we know. She said again, we know. She said, we know. We gotta, because we know Emma Warner.
Right.
So look, Emma on the council. And see, but that's beautiful because that provides, you know what I'm saying, because we got to know the truth. They got to know the truth. And that's a tough truth, man, that no matter what, they always lose. But you can't really say that because she's only done like 9 lives or whatever.
Right.
So we don't know if they always lose because remember in Avengers Endgame, which is completely different, but what is like 14 million to 1 or something like that, some crazy. So there may be one way they can win.
Well, and it's good that they have her. I'm in dispute on the always lose thing because it seemed like they didn't lose on the last one. Yeah, you know, with the far X, what is it, X3 or X4, whatever the longest timeline with the phalanx coming in. It didn't seem like they lost per se. So all I'm saying, I'm in dispute of the always losing because the X-Men are my favorites. But also I'm in dispute of sort of the idea of not bringing in those time travel or far those mutants that can see into the future into the fold. I believe how they brought everybody into the fold, like Apocalypse and Exodus and all those, the same way they need
all these people that was like, because even they were at the door, they were like, you sure you ready to do this?
Like, Wolverine was like, because we can do this.
Like, look,
don't start nothing, won't be nothing.
Yeah,
but I think they need to bring those time travel mutants or what do you call it when you can see into the future? Clairvoyant, precog mutants into the fold and use that, because if in the far future Moira messes up, they'll be able to see it so they can course correct. Yeah. So I think
the better way would be to bring Destiny back and have a meeting with
just her,
with Destiny, Moira, Professor X, Xavier. I mean, and Magneto would be like, look,
this is what
we about to bring you in.
Right.
We don't need you ruffling feathers, but we need to decide now that there ain't gonna be no meeting.
This is gonna be what it is. Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
And yes, we need you to see the future, but we don't need you messing it up for the other mutants.
But also think about this, Bishop, Cable, they can jump in and jump out of the future.
Yeah, because Bishop is one of the lieutenants or something like that.
Yeah, he's
one of the captains or commanders or something.
One of Cyclops' folks.
Yeah.
But I'm saying, like, to have those assets in place for Krakoa Nation is a good thing. So I believe they did that. I believe that's sort of an out so that they can have some tension going forward.
So they can have some beef with Destiny in the future.
Story-wise.
And with Emma.
Because they have everybody.
And she ain't chose her king yet. She ain't choose that Red King yet.
Right. So I believe that's a sort of story out. But I think they should bring everybody into the fold. The problem is that when you start doing stories like that, people start to paint these characters as villains. Have you heard the rumblings? Well, now the X-Men are evil. Now it's like whenever a friend of mine, Rashad Doucette, comic creator as well, Professor at SCAD, what up, yo? He says I steal.
Watches the show.
He says I steal his ideas on camera. I'm not stealing his ideas. This is Rashad's idea. But he says, this is one of his things. He says whenever minority classes start to talk about revolution or coming in and collectivizing and getting together, letting their dollars circulate, it becomes evil inherently because it opposes a system that's set up, already. So again, not my idea. But that's why we hear these rumblings of, is Professor X evil? Like, it's not evil to say, I want all my people to come live with me, and I want us to prosper together, use all of our talents.
It's not like there hasn't been reason to do this.
Correct, especially in the Marvel universe.
And that's why I gotta look. You know, here we take comic book stories and have deeper discussions with them. I'm just saying, look,
right.
I'm ready when you are. That's all I'm saying.
Look at the serious face.
I'm saying Sinister was at the table, Apocalypse was at the table, Sebastian Shaw was at the table. I'm
of a mind that we need. I talked to one of my older homies, Nolan. This guy named Nolan, and he was like, man, he was saying, man, they got the project dudes and they got the the other kind of black people, and I was like, yo, we need all those people in the society, right? The idea is the more violent of us are on the front lines. They're protecting us, right? Yeah. The intellectuals are in the back figuring out how to wage the war, right? Like, that's the setup of this version of X-Men. Yeah. And it's amazing. To me, X-Men has always been not only about revolution, not only about racial divides and societal divides and stuff like that, but like the idea of a people kind of coming together and prospering and moving forward is amazing to me. Like them creating mutant technology, Krakoa technology, not only to save themselves but to help the world. But
because they were like, look, how about this? We know it's a big ass, and you got too much arrogance to just give this to us. Even though you should, but here,
pay for it.
We'll give this to you. Yeah, I love how he said, "Pay for it."
Pay for it.
I love that. I love how he said, "Man, it's beautiful." So,
but it's the way it has. He said, "We tried to give it to you before.
Yeah,
you killed us. Mm-hmm. We tried to talk to you. You killed us." Professor X would sound like Tupac in this thing. Like, soon we're not gonna be knocking on the door.
Once he saw the future and stuff, he was like, "Yo."
Correct.
Yo, it's not just me, or it's not just Magneto. We gotta both come together, and we gotta get everybody else.
Right.
Because they went and I think they got White Queen first.
They got her.
Well, at least the way it looked like they went to her first.
They got her,
but they jumped through time a lot. And they were like 3 months from now, 10 months from now, 2 years.
A lot of time.
But I think they went to White Queen first. But like they said, we need someone that can do the ambassador game. There's someone who can do the UN, can talk to, who can talk to Congress.
The political song and dance.
You're pretty. You're pretty. You know how to say the right things. Also, you can read people's minds.
Apply the right pressure.
Yeah, apply the right pressure. All that stuff. But we need Sebastian Shaw.
Strong arm and account.
Because we need somebody.
We need somebody in the count room. Making sure it comes off the top.
Yeah, we need somebody. When someone act up, we need somebody who'll be in their house with the lights off when they show up.
That's why I'm mad. That's why I'm mad though that they got rid of Sabretooth.
Well, they didn't really get rid.
Well, he's in the bowels of Krakoa.
Because I like how they did it, because they're like, we might need a mad dog later. We might need a mad dog later.
I mean, Wolverine ain't as mad a dog as that dog, right?
Yeah. So Sabretooth, especially in this version, they have definitely let us know Sabretooth is like, he just wants blood.
He's like classic Sabretooth in this. Yeah. That's why I love Hickman so much too. Because he went classic a lot with these cats. Like, he knows the history, which I love. I also heard that he loves Cyclops, so that's why Cyclops is captain of captains in this too. Cyclops comes through in this, and
I like how they don't play him in a corny way. You know what I'm saying? So that's right. Jonathan Hickman right there. So so
man, we can draw, huh?
That's a dope piece.
But we have to get a shot of that. But Hickman got skills. There's a Hickman, an original Hickman Cyclops piece on the wall right there.
Yeah, and I love how they play Cyclops because he's not like, I know Professor X calls them his children, but he doesn't play kind of like I'm just here to make everyone happy. Like he plays like someone who's like, look, I'm a soldier, but we all need to know what's going on.
Right.
And he plays it like a real leader, and I like that.
I always thought Storm aside, because Storm is the best X-Men leader.
Probably,
but Cyclops is the best. What's the word? He's the best. He helms he steers the ship of X-Men.
Yeah.
The best. Like, and this is, to me, it's sort of explored closely, sort of explored in E is for Extinction. That's Grant Morrison's run. But in Mike Carey's run, in the Messiah Complex especially, Cyclops showed me that he needs to be at the helm of X-Men. Before the Magneto Professor X combo and this, which is just, I could let them stay there forever. But before that, Cyclops, he saved the mutant race in the Messiah trilogy. Yeah. He literally saved the human race from Bastion, Nimrod, and the future and everything. Like, it was him him and Emma on side him stewarded the X-Men into sort of like utopia, right?
As utopia as it can get.
Right. I mean, obviously they had to come back and do all kinds of trash, but I didn't read all that stuff. Cyclops is one of my favorite X-Men because of that run. And I think they really, in this run, they really played up to that high bar set with Mike Carey in that run. Like, I think Cyclops was he's supposed to be the captain of captains. That is they honored him in this, is what I think. And I love that line. Can you do it? Do you guys think you could do it? If it needs to be done, it'll get done. Yeah. Done. That's Cyclops in a nutshell.
Yeah. And speaking of that, before we get into this mission, we had the mission to go stop the Mother Mole.
Right.
Because
such a cool flip on the Master Mole
thing. Yeah. Because you have AIM, you have Hammer, you have Sword, you have Hydra, all these people working together. And the interesting thing, to flip this in real life, you have all these organizations that you think aren't working against you, but in the background, they're all working against you. I'll just say that. I'll just leave that right there. There's a whole bunch of people that you think, oh, they don't even get along together, and they're plotting your demise.
See, what people don't realize is collusion doesn't need respect to work.
Nah,
you don't need.
They just need a common enemy.
You don't need to collude together,
or they just need the other.
All conspiracies need is a mutual enemy.
Yes.
That's it.
And their mutual enemy in this case is the mutants. And that mission, even though I was like, they're leaving Storm, but I was like, I mean, this is an important mission. But at the same time, I figure they do need to hold down the home front. Like, say if somebody try to go crazy.
Well, you need hitters at home too.
Yeah, but I was just like, yo, Storm. I feel like Storm. Well, it's weird because you're not on Earth, so you can't really summon weather. Maybe so. Maybe it's not. But I feel like she can still do something.
It depends on how you want to write her ability.
Yeah, it depends on how. Because you can have a cosmic storm if you want it.
In Claremont's, in some of the early Claremont stuff, she was wilding in space.
Yeah,
like in the vacuum of space. So
so it's. I just feel like they left a hitter, but then you need her.
She helped with the communication.
Yeah, and I think also they wanted to position her as the. It looks like they're positioning her as sort of like the mother.
She was kind of like a religious leader. Almost.
Yeah. So I think they wanted to position her as that.
Right. And there's that theme running through because in that far-flung future, there's like the human cyber. Male leader, and they're real religious about that and stuff like that. Yeah. That scene kind of mirrored that earlier scene a little bit.
But that mission was. I was like
Wolverine, man. Let me break off for a second and talk about Wolverine now.
Yeah.
In modern times, Wolverine, I don't consider necessarily the Wolverine I grew up with. He's sort of like, Rashad and I call him Daddy Wolverine. Oh. He's your dad. Right?
It's like he still got that old man strength.
Right. Other than the X-Force, other than Remender's X-Force, Wolverine has been sort of soft. Let's just say that. He's been a lighter Wolverine.
That one, the X-Force is pretty dope, too.
It's one of my favorite
because you got like Deadpool in that sometimes. They had Angel in there a couple times. Whole Psylocke.
I love stories that are cohesive. And that's like, I think it's 26 issues of just... Remender had an idea, and that was what he was going to do. And the art is solid throughout.
Yes.
And I love Remender's X-Force. Shout out to Rick Remender. Yeah. That was some good stuff. But yeah, Wolverine, again, classic to me, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Wolverine here, where it's just like, this is what we got to do. Pop the claws, let's go do it.
Yeah.
And no complaining, he doesn't pull anybody to the side and have a heart-to-heart with him. He's just Wolverine in this.
That one moment with him and Kurt, though, I was just like...
Classic Kurt and classic Wolverine right there, right? Look, are we gonna die? Probably. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I'll wait for you in the afterlife. Yeah, let's go do this.
It was just a beautiful moment where I was looking at this like, I think Disney about to take this joint. Like, don't be surprised if Marvel does not at least sample some of this.
Those themes need to be in the new stuff.
I was looking at this and I was like, that's one of those beautiful moments that after like 5 or 6 movies you build up and you know that Wolverine and Kurt have been on opposite ends, but friends at the same time. It's like when you see they got the collars. One, Wolverine's good, like piled up, blooded up, dead, and then Kurt's, it was 2 guys tied up.
Also, I want to say Wolverine saves the day, right?
Yes, he does.
Now I would have wrote it. There's this last moment of tension where they have to kill the other coupling, and Kurt and Wolverine have their, I'll wait for you scene, and then he teleports Wolverine out, and Wolverine guts the coupling, and that sends the mother mold into the sun. I don't know if you've read it. You should read it before you watch this.
You're watching this.
Sorry, I ruined it for you. But what I would have did was I would have had Wolverine messing with the coupling and burning up, the same deal, but I would have had, it would have been like almost like he didn't do it. And then Cyclops, who was it was like getting, what did he get, like blown up or something? I forget what happened, but
he gets shot.
He gets shot.
Oh,
but after he gets shot, like after we think Cyclops is out, I would have had him blast through the glass and kill the coupling, and that's Cyclops' last moment. That's what I would have did. But anyway, it was still
because the Cyclops would have been the hero.
Cyclops is the captain of captains. Yeah. But anyway, Wolverine doing it is just as cool. Yeah. Don't get me wrong. I love the way you wrote it, Hickman. And Wolverine saves the day. Classic Wolverine.
That's what I thought was going to happen. I thought they were going to be like, well, we can't get out there, and Cyclops was going to hit it,
right,
and then probably just get sucked out into the space, and then like Nightcrawler pop out, grab him, pop him back in, and then that's what I thought was going to happen.
That would be fine.
But that last moment, I was like, you know what? I'm not mad at that.
But that was classic Hellfire Wolverine falling through the whole thing and clawing his way back up to save the day. Like, that was classic Wolverine. I loved every minute of that issue. That issue was, well, not every minute, but it's one. Let me digress.
Okay, what you got?
One of my least favorite mutants, one of my mutants that I don't like is Jean Grey. First of all, Jean Grey's wearing a miniskirt through the whole thing. I don't know why.
They went classic with a lot of their uniforms, but
they did. But that's kind of one of the worst classic uniforms. Maybe I don't want to speak to sexism because I'm a dude, but at the same time,
it seems a little old.
Little old,
and it doesn't look like she's ready for action.
Exactly, and she's not. So yeah, I guess apropos, whatever. But Jean Grey, what's your issue, man? Like, why are you dying in a space capsule when you're the Phoenix? What is the problem?
But is she Phoenix in that moment? Because I was reading, I was like, well, why isn't she doing anything?
She didn't do anything.
All she was doing was keeping contact with the people. But I'm like, we've seen her work before. I'm like, she could have put all the minds of everyone to sleep in the. But I mean, and this is a problem. And I know we're dogging this story out for this month, but I hate
dogging Jean Grey.
I hate when writers conveniently forget powers of the people that are on the mission.
It's not.
And I feel like. Well, yeah.
I don't like Jean Grey, so I never liked her.
Jean Grey presents a problem when she doesn't operate at the level, especially with the urgency that we know about the Mother Mold.
Correct.
And I know she had to keep contact for the thing,
but she's the Phoenix.
She's the Phoenix, unless she didn't have the Phoenix, which they never really explained.
Exactly. Why?
I mean, so I guess maybe she didn't. But if this is following the other
also,
stories,
even beyond the Phoenix, she's an Omega level telepath.
Yeah, she could have just made. Actually, I mean, and this might be pushing it, But they probably could have got close enough for her to force them to dump the mother mole in the sun.
Correct.
Maybe. I know she's
an Omega.
But I mean, that's a lot of minds to control. But I mean, I think they could have maybe. But then you don't have a cool scene either.
Right. But okay, so that's the first gene strike right there. But then there's a part in the Quiet Council of Krakoa where they're exiling my man Sabretooth, which I think was ridiculous. She goes, they're like asking everybody what the laws of Krakoa is, and they come up with the first 3 laws of Krakoa. And the first, I want to say she did the first law, or the second law, or something, but she goes, everybody, I would like to propose, we don't ever kill humans ever. And I was like, what's your problem? I was like, why? See, I didn't take it that way. Well, I didn't take it as ever. I took it as murder, meaning cold-blooded murder. Because we just killed people on the space station. They didn't say murder, though. She didn't say murder.
She said kill.
As I recall, she said kill, and I think I read it again. She like we don't harm humans or maim humans ever. And especially not to death.
That law being broke. That law is about to get broke.
First of all, that's the dumbest law for mutants because humans are trying to kill them every day. Like that one lady.
What's it gonna be like Terminator 2, where they shoot people in the knees all the time? Be a whole bunch of crippled people. So naturally, crippled people just walk. Everybody, all humans are wheelchairs for the rest of their life. So naturally, me not liking Jean Grey, I was like, of course you would come up with this law for Krakoa. First of all, Wolverine, your boyfriend, could never follow this law. That's the first thing. Second of all, Cyclops wouldn't follow that law. Magneto, which also my other gripe in that scene, Magneto's like, I concur. I was like, not you. You like really?
I was like, no.
I think here's the thing, because that law about to get overwritten fast. Because I think it's one of those things where they're gonna like turn it or twist it where even Professor X will be like, we won't murder you.
I'm surprised you went.
But if they're shooting bullets and we're shooting bullets,
I wish that
you live by the gun, you die by the gun.
I wish that he did that
at the moment.
Scene.
Yeah, because I was like,
I wish somebody. I was so mad at Magneto because Magneto's one of my faves too. I was so mad at him for co-signing that, and I was like, I hate you, Jean Grey, because why? Of course you would. They
were only co-signing because it's you.
Exactly. I don't know why she gets carte blanche to be mediocre.
Also, this Black Ops stuff with Sebastian Shaw, people gonna die.
You think
I'm gonna let you know. I'm gonna let you know right now. Sebastian Shaw gonna kill somebody. So this is gonna end up being one of those laws that, on the surface, so Jean Grey can feel good about herself.
Yes.
And then the X-Force team gonna kill mad people
who they need to kill.
Correct. And they know everybody, and then she can feel happy. She can sleep well.
She literally had just gotten killed by a bunch of humans, and the first thing she do when she wake up is go, let's not kill a human.
The issue with mutants making that hard line distinction between them, between the Avengers, between the Fantastic Four, between Wakanda, all that. And it's funny. The funny thing with Wakanda is like, we don't need them.
I feel like that was that black on black crime.
Yeah, like Wakanda was like, we don't need these. Like we'll respect Krakoa, but we don't need this.
I
we
was
good.
like, why was Wakanda so standoffish with the mutants? Y'all both black.
Y'all both black.
Don't do that black on black crime.
But they go and they do the mission. And Mystique is like, yo, we got amnesty. I don't know what y'all. Why y'all even here? Right. And they roll up and they like, look, like White Queen, all them. They like, look, hey, it's a new day.
Right. That's when you have that diplomatic immunity.
Yep. And
right.
Diplomatic immunity. I didn't even know what diplomatic immunity was until Lethal Weapon 2.
Yeah. Yes.
So,
and I still didn't know what it was, but I knew it let you do whatever you want.
And then the funny thing is, White Queen was like, okay, cool, we'll handle this another way. And when they was at court, she said, yeah, so we're going to need y'all to give him up. Now, y'all can give him up nicely, and y'all can feel good about it.
Right.
Or we can take it.
Can do some
I'm here with the Stepfords, plus me.
I love the Stepfords.
We could just completely wipe all of your minds.
You'll never know we took them.
Yeah, we could leave and y'all could like snap to and be like, hey, what are we doing here?
Right.
Last thing I remember is going to bed last night. And then, how did I get we could do that, but we're trying to change. We're trying to change. Yeah. Just give us Sabretooth and we'll be about our way.
Right.
Because Magneto was like, yo, I told him not to kill nobody. He wasn't killing people. And Mystique even said, like, yo, you ain't supposed to be killing people.
Everybody was like this with Sabretooth.
Because it was like, but at the same time, Sabretooth was like, you put a pit bull on the team.
What you think gonna happen?
What you thought was gonna happen? Shouts to everybody who got pit bulls, but I'm just saying, pit bulls be getting in trouble. Pit bulls be killing people. They be like pit bulls and Rottweilers. Whenever you be in the hood, you see a dog that's off the leash. It don't never be a poodle. It be a pit bull just rolling around. It be a pit bull and like mad stray cats.
They're intimidating murderers, is what we're saying.
But Sabretooth was like, y'all shit.
They have some pit bulls that are lovely.
Yeah, but I like how he kept that energy. He's in a room of maybe the most powerful people in X-Men lore, and he's still like, it's about to get red in here. And he's like,
but here's the thing, he ain't lying either.
Yeah.
So yeah, they might be the most powerful X-Men in lore, but if he catch one of y'all,
yeah, because see, that's Sabretooth's only issue. He ain't got no long range. And he's in there with mad long range.
If he could shoot claws out his ass, he'd be dangerous.
Yeah, and matter of fact, you saw Emma was trying to slow his mind, and then Jean had to come in and be like, "It's done."
Omega level telepath.
Yeah,
gets killed in space in a space capsule.
Man,
never mind. Whatever.
When I feel like she could have reached out to the minds and just got them to literally go to sleep. Because she's put people to sleep before.
She's a telekinetic. She could have pushed all the couplings out.
Yeah. Like I feel like
they didn't have to do all that.
Because you got Monet there to protect her, and she can push. Here's
push one out.
Here's the problem with Jean. Jean is way.
The problem. Remember the X-Men cartoon? What does she do?
Yo, she be falling like a white girl in a horror movie. Yo, Jean would fall out.
I tried to.
My mind is.
Come on, look, man. When you stop watching this video, go type in Jean faints on YouTube.
Yo, you gonna get about 10 minutes of full faints, son. Yo, Jean is just wow. I mean, it's like the potential of her power is dope, but it's like we never really see it. Like, and see, I thought she was gonna contract the Phoenix at that moment when she was dying, but then we didn't get that either. So, cause I was after I finished that issue, I was like, oh snap, they ain't playing. Right. They just killed our roster.
Right.
They must be about to bring in like the new X-Men or something like that.
Right.
And then they were like, nah.
I love that too.
They're like, nah. You can't kill us no more.
Krakoan technology is one of the smartest things that a writer has created for.
It's basically vibranium. It's basically vibranium.
It is vibranium, exactly. That's what it is. Like, it's that Deus Ex Machina for the X-Men. And I love that about it. But also,
and then making the downloads of people's minds. So
the creative way that he got around the creation of new mutant bodies and downloading minds, the five who use their powers in conjunction,
getting sinister,
like gold, wasn't it gold ball?
Yeah, the gold balls,
creating the life eggs, and then them putting all their powers
with elixir and hope, and
so cool. I was reading online, they were talking about it was a plot hole that Wolverine got resurrected with his adamantium. But if you're genetically manipulating things, you can
because they were making them at that moment.
Exactly. So you can,
or at the moment that they died.
Well, you're controlling creation at this point, right? Yeah. So you can genetically enhance his clone to have adamantium already, right?
Yeah.
So that's not really
why would you leave that out?
Yeah, why would you ever? Also, the story goes as far as in the future they're creating mutants with more than one power set, right?
Yep.
So obviously, yes, we want the ultimate version of them. They're the ultimate versions of themselves. So Wolverine will naturally have the adamantium. That's not a plot hole.
Yeah, it's not. Now, I would like to see a play on story with, does the download of your mind equal a soul? I would like to see a play with that maybe further in the future later on.
Right.
But that's not for here nor there with that story right now.
Well, that's what I asked. And they didn't deal with it, but somebody was like, "Is it really them?" That was a question that was kind of proposed.
Now, back to the whole thing with Fantastic Four. Where do you think that this leaves groups like that? Groups, and they called Wanda the Pretender or something like that.
She is. She's the Avengers Jean Grey.
Yeah. So it's
OP, but don't know what to do with it.
Yeah. Where do you think that leaves them?
I think it leaves them the same place. The X-Men's existence has always left, especially the Avengers. The Avengers are jealous of the X-Men. I mean, whenever the X-Men do something in this vein, the Avengers are always there to be the police and to come and say you're going to jail. Captain America. I mean, remember AVX? I mean, what was happening? Essentially, they were like, you can't use the Phoenix the way you want, even though it's canon for your story. We have to stop you.
Well,
anytime.
And AVX wasn't the idea that I'm trying to remember how AVX went down.
So Phoenix
Phoenix was coming. It was supposed to be at Hope, right?
Cyclops was like, I want the Phoenix to be inside. I want the Phoenix for the X-Men, first of all.
Yeah.
And I think they were going to use Hope. Everybody thought Hope was basically the reincarnation of Jean Grey or whatever.
Yeah.
So
and Hope ended up being kind of like a character.
Yeah. She's just whatever now. It's whatever writer wants her to be. But she's one of those characters like Layla Miller.
Because they made Messiah and everything. They made everything about Hope, and Hope ended up being like.
I mean, she's Rogue. Like her powers said, it's like Rogue, except Rogue is 1,000 times better at it. And I think she has like sort of a rejuvenation kind of thing. Like she affects your emotions and your vibrancy or something like that. But other than that, she's basically Rogue. Anyway,
where was Rogue and Gambit? We need. Yeah, well, let's not. I
don't know.
I know there's camps on Rogue and Gambit, so I won't mess with them.
But again, I think the Avengers, and you can tell from those scenes, like reading them was looking like what's that meme? The Ike Turner meme. Like, they were like, X-Men doing stuff. What are you doing over there? No one likes when the X-Men do revolutionary things, especially the Avengers, especially Captain America. He's gonna come and stamp them down because it's not right for them to take hold of their society and become a nation because it's not America.
To own our own power. And stuff.
You can't own your own things. I'm Captain America.
Yeah, like
now. Granted, these people, these same groups, never do anything when 16 million mutants are killed. They don't lift a finger when tragedies in mutantdom happen.
Oh, so you're saying it's like a senator that's mad about police violence in another country, but police violence happens literally in this country, and apparently he has nothing to say except bad words for a basketball player?
No, I'm not saying that. It's close to that. What I'm saying is, I'm saying that the Avengers are a police officer who thinks that somebody selling a couple grams of drugs is completely evil and deserves to be shot and killed and beat up. But then
they want to turn you in.
But then he catches somebody at a traffic stop and he shoots them and kills them and beats them up.
Yeah,
that's what I think is akin to.
Yeah, the just seeing the whole deal with Cyclops and Reed and how that went down. That this is gonna reverberate out further.
That's why Professor X wants them to be a nation rather than a collection or a school or a conglomeration. Because when you're a nation, there's different rules, right? Yep. When you're a nation, you can go get Sabretooth without much static. Whereas when you're just a secret group of mutants, you don't have the
protections.
You're vigilantes,
the legal,
essentially, right? You don't have the legal
community protections.
Right, exactly. So you need to be a nation. That's what he wants.
Because they're stepping over the U.S. They're going to the UN.
The point of making Krakoa a nation is protection of mutants. That's their goal. to protect their community. But the biggest and first thing they needed to do was make sure that they had national status. Because they can grab, snatch mutants from anywhere, take them, experiment on them, kill them, and do whatever they want. And the X-Men have to go in there covertly before. Yeah. Now they can sanction people. Now they can sanction Wakanda if they take mutants. Yeah. Now they can sanction Latveria if they take mutants.
Oh, right? I did see that. Like Latveria was like, "Nah, we good." He was like, "Of course." I was reading and I saw Latveria. I was just like, "Of course."
If he was smart though, he would team up with them. I mean, think about it. You got Magneto and Apocalypse over there. Maybe these are people you want to talk to.
Yeah, but Doom always wants ultimate power.
Doom just wants to be Reed Richards. That's Doom's is narcissistic. He don't want ultimate power.
I love that story where
he just want to make Reed Richards upset.
What is it? The story where he gets the opportunity to be Reed and realizes that he just can't be Reed no matter what. I love that. I love that look where it's like you get everything you thought you wanted, and you still weren't up to snuff.
Because you suck. You're right.
You're horrible. You're a horrible person.
I'm not a huge Doom fan. I don't like characters who, and that's why I like Magneto and Professor X kind of teaming up because it makes more sense for them to do so. Whereas Reed and Doom, they're like squabbling brothers. Like they just don't want the other brother to have the last slice of pizza. It's not really about it's not about good or evil or
I just don't want you to have it.
Right. I just don't want you to have it. I don't even want it. I just don't want you to have it. That's their kind of dynamic. So,
and see, I like Doom more probably because of the hip hop implications. Because I'm a big MF Doom fan. So every time I think of Doom, I'm like, it's like Doom plus Doom.
Right.
So it's like,
what about
hoe cakes? Deep fried friends,
right? What about this whole thing, this poly relationship that's implied, or maybe it's a little more than implied, with Wolverine, Jean, and Cyclops? Have you seen that online?
Nah, I haven't seen that really.
About it. So in Cyclops in their base, I think it's on the moon. They have all the mutants, and Cable is there, and they're treating him like a kid. And Jean's kids are there, Rachel and Cable, young Cable. But also Wolverine lives there too, and I think Nightcrawler and Storm, or whoever. But Jean, if you look at the infographic, Jean and Cyclops and Wolverine's rooms are connected. And at the end of Powers of X. Number 6, at the end of the story, I think it's Powers is the last one. Okay, in Powers of X number 6, they're all sharing beers and they're all hugged up together. And Jean and Emma do this thing where Jean's like beer and Emma's like, I guess I'm drinking. And they kind of drink and smile together like they're all in this big love. I don't know what you call it.
Free love.
But free love. But
free love sounds like some of that.
Shout out to Greg Anderson and Lise. He's a big poly guy, like he's like poly proud, and I feel you, dude. He's very excited about the implications of that sort of thing.
All I'm saying is there's a lot flowing around, man. I mean, I'm just saying there's a lot flowing around, matriculating. I'm just saying.
This is what I'm saying. I think it's in tune with the whole revolutionary idea of it. Yeah. While relationships
will also shed your idea of relationships,
right? I mean, we're mutants. We're not humans, so we can do all kinds of different things. But, and it shouldn't be, in reality, it shouldn't be a revolutionary thing to love whomever, however many you want, or whatever you want to do. But I think it fits with the story of these revolutionary mutants starting their own type of society, but also I think it's just a really cool idea to explore with that love triangle, sort of. That said, I think it's a good idea, but that said, I don't like Jean for Cyclops.
Oh, you know what? I'll say this. I do think that Emma's a better look for.
I love Emma. Let me
Emma's a better look for Scott. After they should have never put them together, because once they did, I was like, you know what?
It's better this way.
I like it like this.
Let me put it to you like this. I was thinking about this before I got here today. I was like, Gene and his relationship has always, in my opinion, been you know how you see those two people who everyone sort of tells them they should be together.
It's like there's a basketball star and the
right
cheerleaders,
right? High school sweethearts who's supposed to be together in everyone's eyes, and they sort of kind of glommed onto that idea, but they don't work well in real life, like together.
It's like they always look good,
but they always
they photograph well.
Right,
everybody wants to be them.
Right, they always relationship goes until they're alone together, and there's always this tumultuous kind of relationship thing. I mean, they can't even have children together at the same time. It's always like somebody's clone in the future did this, or she's like the surrogate mom in the future. You know,
it's weird.
They can't ever get. They're about to get married or something, and then the phoenix arises. Like it's always some crap with their relationship. And honestly, in all the time I've been reading X-Men, I never liked the Goody Two Shoes characters being together. And before Cyclops got hard, he was a goody two shoes, and he was always crying for Jean, and then she would always cheat on him with Wolverine.
He sure enough did cry for Jean, boy.
And I feel like she doesn't gravitate towards the way who he is. I think
she fits more with Wolverine now,
even
and he fits more with Emma now, and I think that makes sense.
Even in Age of Apocalypse, the first one. Wolverine and Jean are together in that, and they make a better team because his animal sort of magnetism and gruffness works with her sort of, I don't know, mediocre white girlness. I don't know what she has, but I just think they work better together. But Emma and Cyclops though, they work because
they are a great team.
Her sort of uppity staunchness with his sort of. He has a sort of uppity staunchness, but it's more military.
His is more. His is more like Boy Scout, JROTC, military, but I kind of like yes sir kind of thing.
She's more like,
and hers is more like I'm rich.
Right. And when they clash though, I feel like when those personalities clash, they break down and they become more human. And you've seen that in, again, referencing E for Extinction, Mike Carey's run on X-Men, and stuff like that.
Back to,
I was thinking about...
Even back to Josh Whedon.
Perfect example. I didn't mention that run. Also one of my favorite X-Men runs.
Even back to that. That's when they found out Colossus was still alive or something.
They went to get him. But also Cyclops lost his powers in the red bug room. And he could open his eyes in that story for most of it. But at the end, they never dealt with this later. At the end, he got his optic blast back, but it turns out he had them the whole time and just didn't use them. So at the end of that story, Cyclops had regular eyes.
Oh.
He just turned them on and off like he's theoretically supposed to. It was, if you haven't read Josh Whedon's, it's 24 issues of pure gold.
It's a lot of fun.
John Cassidy draws every issue. It's wonderful.
It's a lot of fun.
Anyway, I'm in it till I die, 133art. But X-Men is my stuff. Don't mess with me behind my X-Men. But anyway, what I was saying was, Emma is better for Psych. And I was thinking about this when I was on my way here. Think about it. Jean was with him when he was a student, when he was a nerd, when he was, the second best leader of the X-Men.
Yeah.
Emma was with him when he was a king. He was a king. Your significant other is supposed to make you. It's supposed
Xavier's
to make
gone.
you better.
Xavier's gone.
Right.
Now he's the one everybody's looking to.
And she does nothing but support that, right?
Yeah.
He and her ran the X-Men, and they were the perfect team. Again, they saved the mutant race.
Yeah.
Read Messiah Complex trilogy. You will see they saved the mutant race. Now, after that, everybody was down on Cyclops because he was a killer or whatever. That was phony.
The Phoenix Force stuff and all
that. Everything after Mike Carey's run was about how Cyclops was a terrorist. Cyclops is not a terrorist.
But I do like his Phoenix Force uniform. It was flavor. Woo!
It's like Phoenix 5, I thought was a great idea.
And then even the one where it was just the X on his eyes, like that was fresh.
The Chris Bacalo one, that was nice.
Big shout out to Magneto in all white. Not mad at that.
Right, I wasn't too huge on Magneto in all green.
Yeah, that was
the future one.
Yeah,
that was a little weird. But Magneto in all white, again, I think that's a Chris Bacalo design.
Oh, okay. That all white was nice. That all white was. I was like, word.
It fits.
Well,
he looks like the master of magnetism.
Yeah. Well, I guess with that said, we kind of covered everything pretty much.
Yeah, man. I to kind of cap it. I just think I talk to Rashad about this all the time. I'm just like, they're not gonna be able to keep the X-Men this revolutionary. So, like, once they meld into the proper Marvel universe, it's gonna be the Avengers and the Fantastic Four to come and stamp them down. So, unfortunately, I'm only dipping in and dipping out with this. Like, House of X and Power of X is almost like my end run for X-Men.
Yeah.
You know, if another good writer comes in and does some cool stuff for consecutive issues, I'll hit with that. But
this has really changed the game,
and it should continue. I wish that I could believe that Krakoa would still be a nation in 6 months to a year, but I don't believe it. I mean, you know the guy begins.
We know how it goes. But I guess I'll cap it by saying, well written, well drawn,
really good. Oh man, shout out to who are the artists on this? Pepe Larraz.
Oh yeah. Big shout, man.
Who's the other guy?
I know there's
R.D. Silva. Is that him?
Maybe.
Am I
can't
pronouncing
remember.
that right?
Trying to remember the last names right now. Guys, you'll let us know in the comments.
Also, shout out to
well drawn throughout.
Jorge Molina, who did that old school X-Men poster. You should be drawing X-Men, my friend, because you are wonderful.
That was dope.
I'm putting that on my wall. That's how great it is.
Yeah.
I'm not even a poster dude. Continue with your
I'll put my poster. So, well written, drawn. I'll say this. Look, man, we got the blueprint down. I'm just saying.
For the flicks.
Just saying. Look.
Yes.
They got Apocalypse there. They got Magneto there. Everybody. I'm just saying.
All mutants, come on down.
Yeah, I'm just saying. All of us.
Come on, mutants. Come home.
Just saying. All we gotta do is get together. We got it in the book.
I like that.
That's all I'm saying. You know what we talking about.
Also, Wakanda, stop hating, man.
Yeah, Wakanda, stop hating. Wakanda forever, but also
right. Forever, but stop hating. Y'all got the same sign, yo. Get together.
So, guys, before we bounce, big shout out to Collectors Paradise here in Winnetka, California.
Yes.
Awesome. Got tons of stuff. Check them out. And before we bounce, where can they find you?
133art.com is the hub. Army, better yet, a Navy. Taking over for the 99 and the 2000.
So, guys, NERDSoul everywhere. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube. Hit that thumbs up. If you hit that thumbs down, I'm going to send number out after you. So, before we bounce, it's just us to you saying, peace.
Peace.